Welcome back to episode number 78 of Winning the Division. I am your co-host, Ryan Smith, alongside former NFL tight end Ben Troupe, played with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Oakland Raiders at the time, and drafted by the Tennessee Titans. Went to college at the University of Florida. Knew Coach John Summerall in the college football playoffs with the
Yeah, yeah,
Tulane team. So good to see that from Mr. Summerall. And Ben, I know you're excited there in Gator Nation as welcoming John Summerall. Quick college update here for you before we get started into the NFL. Fernando Mendoza, Diego Pavia, Jeremiah Love, Julian Sain named Heisman Trophy finalists. All those guys probably going to be in the NFL next year, except for Julian Sang, who's a true freshman, so he obviously will not be. But the rest of those guys probably going to be in the NFL next year, unless Diego Pavia wants to go back for a 10th year eligibility, it seems, at this point. Thoughts on the Heisman Trophy finalist? And I think there's one clear winner. I think it's
yeah,
Fernando Mendoza.
yeah. I would say this. I do think Fernando Mendoza is the leader of the group. Jeremiah Love, obviously, you go back to what he's done this year, kind of like what he's done. His will be more of a career achievement. Just as saying, I mean, when you play for Ohio State, you're obviously going to get some love. And Diego Pavilion, he's not going to win it, but what he's meant to the SEC, what he's meant to Vanderbilt, what he's meant to quarterbacks like him, says a lot. I mean, he doesn't lack confidence, and and he is ushering in the new Vanderbilt company. Now, can they keep this up? I don't know, but beat Tennessee, beat Alabama 2 years ago, right? Didn't beat Alabama this year, didn't beat Oklahoma. Clark Lee, I mean, all class head coach of Vanderbilt comes out and says, "Look, we're not going to be one of those teams. One that opts out, and two, we're not gonna cry spilled milk. We had opportunities to do it, and the two teams we needed to beat, we didn't beat. That's Alabama and Oklahoma. They're in. But the Heisman Trophy is supposed to be given to the best player in the world. I do think Fernando Mendoza. I think he is the clear-cut best player in the country, and what he means to a school like Indiana, to a basketball school. I mean, and what they're doing this year is unprecedented. What they was able to do in the Big Ten championship game against Ohio State, that quieted a lot of doubts because everybody was waiting for them to lose. Oh, can't beat anybody good. We'll beat Oregon this year, right? Went down to the wire against Penn State this year, and they found a way to win every game they was in. So shout out to all the finalists. I'm happy for guys like Mendoza. I'm happy for guys like Pavia because, Mendoza goes to Indiana, Pavia goes to Vanderbilt. If this is yesteryears, they don't even get consideration no matter how they play because of where they play. But This is 2025. We're in a different landscape of things, and I like that we live in a world now that Notre Dame's tradition, prestige, and popularity can't get them in, and a team like Miami, who didn't win the ACC, still gets in, and teams like JMU. James Madison and Tulane get in. So we are in a different time, Smitty. Will it keep up? We don't know, but I just like the direction. But everybody got something to say about who shouldn't have got in. I appreciate everybody who did get in. And shout out to them G5 schools like JMU, like Tulane, who are definitely waving the flag saying, look, we play football over here too. And if you don't think we're that good, come play us. Oh, that's right. We won the last 12 team standings. So you can watch us while you also complain from your couch.
Let's get into our Week 14 Players of the Week and Teams of the Week. Last week of the bye saw four teams on the bye: the San Francisco 49ers, the New York Giants, the New England Patriots, and, of course, the Carolina Panthers as well on the bye this week. So those four teams did not play. But in our Teams of the Week, I'll go ahead and start in Players of the Week. Ben, I don't think the national headline, Mike Tirico said it best last night on Sunday Night Football. The national headlines are going to talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. But I am going to talk about the Houston Texans defense.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm.
This is a Super Bowl caliber defense. And yes, I said that. Super Bowl caliber defense. The offense may not be there, but the defense certainly is. Tommy Togilet, 10 tackles, 2 solo, 1 sack, 1 TFL. Kamari Lassiter, 6 tackles, 5 solo. This defense was all over the place last night. Kept Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs to 10 points in Arrowhead. That is so hard to do, especially when they are playing in that kind of a gotta have it game as they were. My player of the week, now switching teams, my player of the week, and I could have gone a lot of different ways on this. I wanted to go Seattle, and I came in here going for Seattle, but I'm switching off last second. Give me the Tyler Shuck, rookie of the Saints, 13-20, 144 yards passing, no touchdowns. I get it, Ryan, no touchdowns. Yes, you're correct, but 24-20 on the road to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where they could be laying down and dying right now. They don't have to be playing this hard, and yet they are. And Tyler Shuck is a rookie doing his thing on the road in Tampa, where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had to have it. They did not get it done. Tyler Shuck was that guy leading the charge. He wants to be here in 2026, man. He wants to make sure the team does not trade up for another quarterback next year. Tyler Shuck is giving it his all there in New Orleans. They faced my Carolina Panthers here in Week 15, which we'll talk about later. But Tyler Shuck, my player of the week, and really that ultimate upset in Tampa Bay. And then my not player of the week is actually kind of a team. I know they lost. They played a really close game. The Cleveland Browns is the answer, by the way. The Cleveland Browns, Shedeur Sanders was great. He threw over 300 yards passing. But Kevin Stefanski, what are you doing on that 2-point conversion to tie the game? Now, first off, Ben, they went for it for 2 down 14 points when they didn't need to. They should have kicked both extra points and they would have been fine there, most assumingly so. But then they didn't do it, so they had to go for 2 on the last one after getting the second touchdown. And it was just like, what are you doing? You take Sanders out for a trick play on the 2-point conversion to tie the game? What? The Cleveland Browns continue to befuddle me week after week, no matter how good or bad they do on the field with some of their decisions that they make in critical times in football games. And shout out to the Brown fans, though, for always being at the games and selling out no matter what their befuddling team around them decides to do. So give me the Houston Texans as my team of the week, the Cleveland Browns as my not team of the week, and then Tyler Shuck as my player of the week.
My not team of the week. I mean, and I understand how bad they got beat, and I understand what happened to Zach Ertz and Jaden Daniels, but 31-0. Commanders, like what happened? Like what happened to y'all in 1 week? Which means my player of the week, I got my not teams of the week is obviously, Washington Commanders and the Tampa Bay Bucks. Ooh, y'all are in trouble because you found a way to let your Panthers back in that thing, Smitty, which I know they tied right now for first place, but y'all are trending upward. All right, what is it about these bye weeks? You go into the bye week wondering what's going to happen, come out, tied for first place. It's like a week off does wonders for these teams. And but yeah, I got the Bucks. Perhaps I got the Washington Commanders. My team of the week, though. My team of the week. It's not Houston. It's freaking Miami. Miami has not lost since they got rid of their GM. No Tyreek Hill, no problem. No Jalen Phillips, no problem. No Jalen Ramsey, no problem. No Jonnu Smith, no problem. And maybe that culture has changed. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes when it comes, but I'm very, very proud of what Tues and company are doing. But I got to give my players of the week to 2 guys. One is coming from Minnesota, and it's J.J. McCarthy. I have been all over J.J. McCarthy, and rightfully so. I mean, 3 touchdown pass, no picks. Now, Justin Jefferson, I don't know if he's going to be a Minnesota Viking next year, but I think he only had like 15 yards receiving in 2 games, which is crazy. But
yeah,
my other player of the week, listen, Keyshawn Nixon, he called game against Chicago. Number one, the Ben Johnson experiment, the Ben Johnson Caleb Williams experiment is working. It is working. But here's the thing about Caleb Williams, Smitty, that people keep saying. He throws in places that aren't there. You're seeing things that aren't there. That should have been a walk-in touchdown. DJ Moore, he's like, dude, like, you can't see me? I'm literally running parallel to you, and you miss it. But there were some words being exchanged throughout that game with Keyshawn Nixon and, some opposing Chicago Bears players, and he called game 28-21, and they are atop that NFC North right now. But yeah, very, very impressed with McCarthy. Obviously, I'm impressed with Seattle. I mean, good Lord, Seattle, good Lord. But
yeah,
major shout out to honorable mention to the Houston Texans. And look, Jalen Petrie is a safety that not enough people talk about. People want to talk about the hit last night against Riche Rice. Sometimes people, you're gonna get hit hard. It is football. You can't flag a player because I knocked the other player out, and it was a legal hit. Not only did he not hit him in this, and here's the thing, you know, the head is attached to the face and the neck. The head is, so if you hit the neck and the head's gonna move, that doesn't mean I hit you in your head. But he meleeed Riche Rice, and Kansas City's receivers are not helping Patrick Mahomes right now. That's Kelsey, that's Hollywood Brown, that's Riche Rice, that's Xavier Worthy. They do not help him. But shout out to the Dolphins. Shout out to JJ McCarthy. I mean, shout out to Keyshawn Nixon. And if you got to play the Texans right now, even though Jacksonville is leading that division, because we're gonna get to the Colts. Look out. Okay, linebackers check. Derek Stingley Jr., throw it at him at your own risk. Jalen Petrie is a do-it-all safety. Oh, and they got these two guys on the D-line. Don't think if you ever heard of them. Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson Jr. It's like they 10 people out there. So shout out to them Texans, but real good football yesterday. Real good
football. This is new about 31 minutes ago. As we go into the recap of the week, we'll actually no, I'll save it. When we get to that game, I'll mention what I'm going to say. Thursday Night Football, Detroit 44-30 over the Dallas Cowboys to improve to 8-5 on the year. Dallas 6-6-1. But essentially, the Cowboys' playoffs hopes are now on life support after this game. Jamar Gibbs and Barry Sanders, Hall of Famer, tied with the most touchdowns in NFL history at 47 for a player prior to his 24th
birthday. The thing about Jahmyr Gibbs and how he does it, he's like Alvin Kamara reincarnated. He makes everything look effortless. Everything. And if you are the Cowboys, now look, we understand the momentum the Cowboys have beating the Eagles, beating Kansas City, the momentum. But Smitty, what's that thing we kept talking about with George Pickens? We said when he wants to play, he is at his best. Top 5 receiver when he's at his best. But when that other George Pickens shows his face, you see what he didn't do. Not loafing on routes. Not finishing routes, not coming out of his breaks, not showing some effort. And here's the thing. CeeDee Lamb, that concussion protocol, he kind of looked like Tua when he fell on his head. My prayers up for him. I hope he's all right. He's probably going to be in the concussion protocol for a couple of weeks. George Pickens was a former second-round pick who got traded before his rookie deal was up by the Pittsburgh Steelers, not because he can't play football. They're tired of dealing with it. And it kind of showed himself. Richard Sherman had some harsh words for the young man after the game, and he cared more about responding to Richard Sherman. Let me help you understand something, George Pickens. When you say things like, "Oh man, all you ever got is the Legion of Boom," that's all he needed. That was the whole world respected Legion of Boom, even though Cam Newton, the company, went up there that day and kind of shut it down. But that's another show for another day. Then he said, "Quote: We saw you in San Francisco. Yeah, when he was an All-Pro, George. Stop worrying about what former Super Bowl champions, former Hall of Fame cornerbacks are saying to you, and go out there and do what you're supposed to do." But yeah, when you think about this Dallas Cowboy team, they are trending in the wrong direction right now. And they playoff hopes and probably dash before this game. They just had some flashes, Smitty. But yeah, George Pickens was very, very disappointing. Come on, man. You better than that. You're a better player than that. And he dropped the ball. And I don't know why. But hey man, it's why we watch. It's why we enjoy it. But 44 points. Did the defense show up that day? No. The answer is no. But that's why we play. That's why we watch.
Yeah. Let's continue on now to the Sunday games that were yesterday in Week 14. The Seattle Seahawks, we talked about them a second ago, 37-9 over your Atlanta Falcons. 10-3 on the year now is the Seahawks, and the Falcons trending downward as they have been for a while at 4-9. The Seahawks now have 5 players with 4 or more touchdowns and 8 players with 2 or more touchdowns after Cooper Kupp scored his second touchdown of the season on Sunday.
The Seattle Seahawks are, they 10-3. They dangerously good. When they decide to play, they're the best team in football. And what a good team like Seattle did is show what a bad team like Atlanta is. And Michael Penix, for those of you who don't know, they saying he might miss all of 2026, not just 2025. That's how bad the ligaments is in his knee. Kirk Cousins, 15 to 30, 162 yards, no touchdowns, 2 picks. That man made $90 million in 2024. Kyle Pitts, 6 catches, 90 yards. He led all scores. Bijan Robinson, 20 rushes, 86 yards. But Sam Darnold, man, 20 or 30, 249 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick. Jackson Smith, 7 catches, 90 yards, 2 touchdowns. Smith, this is his stats on the year. He has 89 catches, 1,428 yards, 9 touchdowns. Is he gonna break the record? No. I don't think he's gonna break Calvin Johnson's record. But he is going to get paid. When it's time to re-up, he is gonna get paid. But yeah, shout out to it's all about Seattle. I don't know if Raheem Morris, the head coach of the Falcons, is gonna be there in 2026. Not because he's a bad coach, he's just not a good one. He's like a lukewarm coach. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if Terry Fontenot, the general manager of the Falcons, I don't know what they've been discussing, but if you need a motivational speaker or a TED Talk, call Raheem Morris. You need a win, call somebody else because that's hard to watch.
Yeah. Yeah. Arthur Blank. Yeah, I know you're a Falcons fan. You live there in that area. Real quick. I mean, Arthur Blank cares for the team. He cares for that community. Yeah. Co-founder of Home Depot, for those who don't know. He's getting up there in age, is he not? I mean, what is his what's the word I'm looking for here? Do you feel like he is so involved that he needs to take a step back, kind of like some of these other owners have done, or do you feel like at this point he's in his 80s and that's just not going to happen, and it is what it is at this point?
I don't think he takes that approach. I think he really trusts the guys like Terry Fontenot, like his president. I don't think, because the one thing I know about Arthur Blank, he also owns Atlanta United. So when you own both the Falcons and Atlanta United and the things he does up here with the hospitals, with the with the Arthur Blank Foundation, he does a lot. I just think that he trusts them so much that he doesn't want to get involved, because when he walks in the building, people going smile more, try to say all the right things. But when you are what your record says you are, and I don't care about what you could. Yeah, Bijan Robinson, one of the best players in the National Football League. Yes, Drake London has proven to be a much better player than people thought he was going to be. Kyle Pitts has shown some flashes the last couple of games, but that return on investment just isn't there. Your backup quarterback is Kirk Cousins, who was your starter in 2024. Michael Penix, you see why a lot of people was kind of reluctant to actually draft him, because he was at Indiana, kept getting ACL tears. He goes out to the UW, they go to the national championship, lose, and the rest is history. You don't know what the direction of his team is. This pass rush, remember that pass rush we talked about before the season? Many, have you heard from it? Because I haven't.
Nope.
And they are rookies, by the way. They are rookies. But when you invest so much into the pass rush, when you invest so much into this offense, when you thought that Michael Penix and Kyle Pitts and Bijan Robinson and Aguilar and those guys was going to be able to go out there and get that, it just hasn't happened. And I'm gonna keep saying this: what hurts the Falcons is never ever what goes on around them. It's what goes on within in that division. The Bucks seem as though they might be running out of gas, and and obviously Carolina is trending upward, and the Saints just beat the freaking Bucks. So if you are the Falcons, it's how you finish the season. Yes, you are eliminated from playoff contention. You're not going to make it in. But they're going to have to do a lot of – it's going to be evaluation to every team. But when it comes to the Falcons, the biggest evaluation is what are we known for? Like, what are people going to know us for? Right now, I know it's hashtag rise up. Rising up to what? So, yeah, unfortunately, that's why I be trying to tell you, Smitty, you don't know pain. You think you do because you're a Panthers fan. You don't. You don't. Falcons are going to win a game they shouldn't win, and they're going to lose a game they should lose. That's the Falcons. That is them. And right now, they are consistent at being inconsistent. And that's what you've seen all season. And it's a lot of money going to come out of their books. Jesse Bates and different guys is making big money because Drake London got to get re-signed. I don't know what they're going to do with Kyle Pitts. Do they franchise him? Do they try to trade him? I don't know. Bijan Robinson, his contract is coming up, so you got to pay a lot of guys. And hey, man, paying guys is one thing, production is another thing. But yeah, I think Seattle proved who they were on Sunday, and unfortunately, Falcons proved who they were on Sunday.
Let's go to Baltimore, where the Pittsburgh Steelers emerged victorious 27-22 over the Baltimore Ravens in a very key AFC North matchup. The Steelers 7-6, Baltimore the inverse at 6-7 after this game. Derrick Henry, who I believe was injured during the game, fourth player in NFL history to have 1,000+ rushing yards and 10+ rushing touchdowns in at least 7 seasons, joining Hall of Famer Emmitt Smith, Hall of Famer Damian Tomlinson, and soon-to-be potential Hall of Famer Adrian Peterson.
Let's go ahead and start off. Isaiah Likely, that was a touchdown. How many steps do I got to take? I thought it was 2 steps. He took about 4 steps, and the ball came out. That was a touchdown. They got holes when it comes to that.
He had the toe last year, too, in the opener against Kansas City. Yeah. He's been flagged out a lot. Yeah.
DK Metcalf came to play. 7 catches, 148 yards. Right? Aaron Rodgers, pedestrian, 23 of 34, 284 yards and a touchdown. No, I'm going to go ahead and say it. What's wrong with Lamar Jackson? I don't know. Lamar Jackson, 19 of 35, 219 yards, 1 touchdown and a pick. You mentioned Derrick Henry, 25 rushes, 94 yards. Lamar Jackson, 7 rushes, 43 yards. The touchdown, Zay Flowers had 8 catches, 124 yards. Isaiah Likely, 4 for 25. The touchdown. Everybody thought that this Ravens team was going to run the table once Lamar Jackson came back. Shout out to Mark Andrews getting a contract extension. And shout out to Isaiah Likely, backup tight end, when asked about Mark Andrews. He said, man, I'm happy for him, man. I'm watching my dog get better, man. I'm happy for him. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. Yes, I'm a pending free agent, and yes, I want to be a Raven, but yes, I'm going to be able to probably hit the free agent market because just because I got drafted by the Ravens doesn't mean that's who I'm going to be moving forward. I'm trying to get the most money. He's going to be highly sought after. He's got number 1 tight end written all over him. But the Ravens, what's going on with them? They're 6-7. Everybody talking about their first place. Pittsburgh 7-6. This division is going to come down to these last 4 games. But this game was ugly. This was an ugly football game. Won by the Steelers. Mike Tomlin still trying to keep his streak of never having a losing record. Him and Aaron Rodgers trying to keep that streak alive. But I'm going to give credit when credit is due. Pittsburgh was down to the dumps, not playing well. Mike Tomlin is asking questions about, are you going to be the Penn State head coach, which they filled that position since then, even though they were the last to fill it. Pittsburgh got a grimy, ugly win. And they grinded it out, and they got a big dub. They got a big win over a division rival in the Ravens. I think these last 4 games are going to decide what's going to happen because Joe Burrow, which we'll get to him, Joe Burrow has lighted it up since he's been back. He put up some big numbers, but it's all about Pittsburgh. They're first in the division, and they know that they're going to have to stack as many wins as they can with these next 4 games where anything's possible and anything can happen. So week 18 on the schedule, week 17, as far as because you got a bye week, it's going to be one to watch. It could come down to the last week of the season for a lot of these divisions of these teams. I'm going to be not my Falcons, but I'm going to be excited to watch.
Yeah. Both of our toilet bowls from this past week did end up being a pretty good game. The Tennessee Titans emerged victorious 31-29 over the Cleveland Browns. Both of these teams vying for the number 1 draft pick of the 2026 draft. 2-11 Titans, 3-10 Browns, as they emerged victorious. The Tennessee Titans talked about that 2-point conversion earlier, but Shedeur Sanders, second rookie quarterback in NFL history with 350+ passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, and 1 or more rushing scores in a single game since Joe Burrow happened in Week 7, 2020 versus the Cleveland Browns, ironically.
The Cleveland Browns forgot to do one thing on Sunday, that was stop the run. Tony Pollard ran crazy. 25 rushes, 161 yards, 2 touchdowns. Cam Ward, to show you what I mean, Cam Ward was 14 of 28, 117 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Shamir DK, he had a touchdown. And obviously, Eric, how you say, Ayo Manor? Make sure I say Ayo Manor, he had a touchdown as well. But I give Shedeur Sanders a lot of credit. He giving you all he got. 23 of 42. 42 dropbacks is a lot. 364 yards, 3 touchdowns and a pick. He also gave you 3 carries, 29 yards and a touchdown. So he provided, he kind of a 4 touchdowns. Harold Fannin Jr., 8 catches, 114 yards and a touchdown. Jerry Jeudy, 3 for 76 and a touchdown. Obviously, David Njoku had 1 touchdown. Obviously, everybody's always watching. Myles Garrett had 1 sack. He has 20 sacks on the season. Smitty, that's crazy. Is he going to break the record? I think he's going to shatter it, but that's what we are on Myles Garrett watch. But I will say this about Shador, and I will say this about Cam. They are friends first. They are competitors second. Very, very, very professional and encouraging towards one another. Very, endearing words about each other after the game. They knew everybody was coming to watch them. Shador outplayed Cam. Cam got the win, and that is Cam's second win of the season. And Shador has 3 wins. It's 3 wins over the bye. I think Shador only won 1 game, but they got 3. I don't know if the Titans going to get another win. We'll see what happens with Cleveland. But congratulations to both gentlemen for putting on the show and understanding that the world was watching. Cam answer questions about Shador. Shador answer questions about Cam. And man, hopefully we're watching the future of the National Football League. One being the number 1 overall pick, the other guy being the 5th round pick, and Kevin Stefanski, who I think is really, really trying to sabotage Shador at this point. That's not a conspiracy theory. They're just looking at the game.
You can say he's trying to get out of Cleveland at this point. He'd be hired in 2 seconds if he got let go.
Yeah. I mean, there's a team in Atlanta. I could have used a coach.
Just saying. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's team in New York. There's team in New York that can use coach.
His duties yet, but a lot of people do expect that. The Jacksonville Jaguars in Duval get the 36-19 win over the Indianapolis Colts, who season just got worse with Daniel Jones rupturing his Achilles on one of the first plays of the game. And the Colts streak in Duval continues. They have not won down there since 2014. So now 11 straight years in which they have lost down there in Duval. Jaguars have scored 25-plus points in 6 straight games dating back to Week 9 at Las Vegas, tying their longest streak in franchise history. The only other 6-game streak in franchise history with 25 or more points was in weeks 12 through 17 of the 2007 season there in Jacksonville. And Ben, before you go on with your analysis, this is the game I was going to say. I had that little nugget I was going to bring up. Here it is. Grandfather Philip Rivers. He just became a grandfather. Yes, that was he is coming in for a workout with the Indianapolis Colts. That is not fake news. You can go look at it up right now. The Indianapolis Colts are bringing in 44-year-old Philip Rivers. And yes, for those listening, you can look it up. I am not lying. Go look it up right now. The Hall of Fame, and yes, the other answer to your question for those who think he's going to be in the Hall of Fame, the minute he steps onto the field and takes a live snap in a regular season game, his Hall of Fame candidacy automatically is set back for another 5 years.
Yeah,
so if that were to happen.
Shout out to my draft mate, class of 04, Philip Rivers, North Carolina State, 4th overall pick. I'm happy for Philip Rivers. I mean, one thing you know about Philip Rivers, he could throw the rock. He did not retire from football because he couldn't do it anymore. He just, what else can I do? I think he leads all major categories, for the Chargers. I mean, passing yards, touchdowns, completions, wins. I think he's done it all. And just because you don't win a Super Bowl, just because you don't win an AFC Championship game, doesn't mean that you didn't have a Hall of Fame career. I think we need to stop making those things barometers. But this Jacksonville Jaguars team, they're 9-4. Remember Travis Hunter? He's been gone a long time. And they've already said that he's going to be on IR for the rest of the year. Trevor Lawrence, 17-30, 244 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Nick Mullins came in 1 for 1 for 3 yards. Travis Etienne, 20 rushes, 74 yards, 2 touchdowns. Brian Thomas Jr., 3 catches, 87 yards. Tim Patrick had 5 catches, 76 yards and a touchdown. Jacoby Myers, nice addition. Coming over for the Raiders, 4 catches, 39 yards and a touchdown. But let me tell you why the Colts lost. Yes, Daniel Jones, 5 of 7, 60 yards and a pick. Riley Leonard, 18 of 29, 145 yards and a touchdown. The pick. Jonathan Taylor's gone cold. 21 rushes, 74 yards. He did have a touchdown. And obviously, Riley Leonard had two rushes, 5 yards and a touchdown. Why is it important what I'm saying? I said Riley Leonard. I didn't say Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson is the 3rd-string quarterback. He just got elevated. Well, the reason why you're bringing in Philip Rivers is because you're bringing in Philip Rivers to try to salvage your season. He's going to start if he does indeed pass his physical, which means I don't think they want to. I don't think they want to put Anthony Richardson out there. You know why? But they put him out there and he gets hurt. He's gonna be. He's not gonna really be a player that we can trade for. I think Anthony Richardson played his last down of football and with the Colts. Now, not in the league, but with the Colts. Very, very, very impressed with the Jags. The Jags, everybody was talking about the Colts earlier. Like they're gonna run away with. They're gonna be the number one seed. They're gonna win this division. Everybody else playing for second and thirds. Because Daniel Jones is out, and they found a way to neutralize Jonathan Taylor these last couple of weeks. The Colts are in danger of not making the playoffs at all. Let me show y'all else something. Remember when the Colts was winning, and they kept showing they kept showing the owner. Yeah, they ain't really showing her like they used to. That's not her fault. But I keep telling y'all, when they're winning, everything she does is celebrated. And when they start losing, man, we might want to, back off a little bit because we don't want to take the attention away from the team. Daniel Jones praying for you. I mean, you was in a position to sign a big contract in the offseason. We'll see how they might end up franchise you or something like that. But Achilles, they say you never the same after an Achilles. They used to be a career ender. We'll see what happens. But yeah, shout out to the Jags and Colts. All I'm saying is nothing wrong with them 80s babies, but you got an 80s baby. I mean, they're gonna be calling him Mr. Rivers. And I grew up watching you, man. And maybe he can come in and do something crazy like take him to the playoff. We'll see.
We'll see. You talked about this team a little bit earlier. The Minnesota Vikings shut out the Washington Commanders 31-0. 5-8 is the Vikings record now, and 3-10. Also vying for that top 5 pick is the Washington Commanders. The Vikings lost, ironically, 26-0 last week to the Seahawks, and then they shut out their opponent, the Washington Commanders, this week. Then they are the first team to get shut out, then shut out an opponent themselves in their next game since the 1992 Broncos. They are also the first team in NFL history to get shut out by 25-plus points in one game and then shut out their opponent by 25-plus points in the next game.
Weird.
The Minnesota Vikings made a lot of history this week.
This game was weird for a lot of reasons. Number one, Minnesota did not look like a team coming in that was a 4-win team. Minnesota looked dominant from start to finish. Zach Ertz, gruesome injury, but that is football. That is not a legal hit. Zach Ertz might have played his last down of football. I mean, with his age and the stage of his career, and if he had, he's leaving. He's left it all out there on the field. Jaden Daniels. Let me tell you what Dan Quinn and the Washington Commanders don't do with Jaden. They do not care about his health at all. They don't care about his future because you got him in there for no reason. This game is over, man. Take him out. And J.J. McCarthy. I mean, like I said, 16-23, 163 yards, 3 touchdowns, right? Nothing crazy, but no picks. Efficient with the football. Aaron Jones Sr., I mean, he had 14 for 78. Jordan Mason had 11 for 52 and a touchdown. I think the thing about Jordan Addison also had 4 for 62. Justin Jefferson had 2 catches, 11 yards. Smitty, Justin Jefferson said, look, they asked him after the game, would you rather have more catches? He said, if we win the game, I'm not. It don't really. I mean, I'd rather have more catches if it's going to help us win, but I want to win. I don't want to have more catches and we keep losing. Yeah. Minnesota was a team that a lot of people thought, okay, no Sam Darnold, no problem. I kept telling people, Sam Darnold had been through the gauntlet, getting drafted number 2 overall, going over to the Carolina Panthers. I mean, he had to deal with some level of embarrassment and humiliation, but when he went over there to Minnesota, he had a team around him. But this is all about Minnesota today. I mean, 31-0. To not score a point in football at any level. Pop Warner, middle school, high school, college, that is hard to do.
Yeah.
31-0. Man, they opened up 2 cans on you. That was frustration being let out on the Commander. But like I say, praying for Jaden Daniels, praying for Zach Ertz. Man, y'all boys can. Zach Ertz, we've seen the last of you, sir. Bravo on a Hall of Fame career. Super Bowl champion. A part of, I think was on the field for the Philly with Trey Burton and Brent Selleck. Was able to do great things over there with Arizona when you was with Kyler Murray. You got to play. Listen, you got to play with Jalen Hurts. You got to play with Carson Wentz. I mean, you got to play with Kyler Murray. You got to play with Marcus Mariota. You got to play with Jaden Daniels. You play with some really, really good
Did he play
quarterbacks,
with
man.
Andrew Luck at Stanford?
I think he did. I think him and Andrew Luck were out there together. So that Stanford tight end tradition is running wild. I think it got started with a Zach Ertz. You know, listen, I think you and your wife, y'all got children. That child was made in a lab with your wife's athleticism and your athleticism. Yeah, that child, y'all can start your own league. You know, now if y'all like Phillip Rivers, you can start your own team with all them babies.
Exactly.
But shout out to Phillip Rivers, man, as well, man, being back in the league. Man, I hope he does pass his physical.
Kobe Fleener, another Stanford tight end. I just remembered his name for whatever reason it came to my head. Also played with Andrew Luck there at Stanford too. The Miami Dolphins, 6-7. Their record now 34-10 over the New York Jets, who also vying for that number 1 pick at 3-10. The Dolphins, 239 rushing yards, the most since week 3 of 2023. Miami's 4th straight game with 160-plus rushing yards. First time since 1977. Ben, the Dolphins have a chance to get to 500 next week.
Let me listen. When I'm wrong, and my wife can attest to this, when I'm wrong, I will say I'm wrong. Josh McDaniels, I was wrong. I was so quick to criticize because of what wasn't going on.
Mike McDaniel.
Mike McDaniel. Sorry, not Josh McDaniels. I'm sorry. That would be the offensive coordinator for the New England Patriots. Mike McDaniel. I apologize because Tyreek Hill got hurt. I thought, oh, that's it. You talk about Jalen Phillips getting traded to the Eagles. Jonnu Smith getting traded before the season. Jalen Ramsey getting traded before the season. Y'all have found a way to – y'all got rid of y'all GM, who's never done anything since he's been there. Definitely wasn't doing that in the postseason. Tua, 13-21, 127 yards and a touchdown. Jalen Wright, 24 rushes, 107 yards and a touchdown. Devon Achane, 7 rushes, 92 yards and a touchdown. I always have to look at the stats. Listen, Achane has 1,126 yards and 7 touchdowns on the season. Let me see how many catches he got. They ain't really got his catches on there. And the Jets, hey, Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor said something during the week. And they was asking him about enjoying his time. People said, where was Tyrod? Tyrod Taylor was born in 1989. He's an 80s baby. And he's still 36 years young, and he's still getting it done in the league. This is what Tyrod Taylor said. They was interviewing him. He said, man, how do you enjoy it? He said, yesterday's dead and tomorrow's not born. All I got is right now. And I'm enjoying right now. And I respect that so much. The Jets, this isn't a year. You got rid of Sauce Gardner. You got rid of Quentin Williams. Justin Fields, I don't know what they're going to do with him in the offseason. That's a mess right there, too. But they didn't lay down. But, yeah, 34-10 is like they 3-10 on the year. 4 games left in the season. Aaron Glenn he's going to be looking at film, taking names. I'm seeing who's playing and who's trying to end the game, not getting hurt, who's collecting the check, and who's showing up to work. But shout out to the Dolphins. And if you are the Jets are a proud fan base. Proud. They just ain't got nothing to show for it. Joe Namath, I don't know how old he is, but that's back in black and white TV times, man. That's when y'all win the Super Bowls. But this is part of the season, Smitty, with 1 quarter left of the season, that being 4 games. Who's still showing up to work? Because you get paid to play football. Whether you win or lose, you get paid to practice, you get paid to perform, you get paid to be a pro. And you better be doing all 3 because Aaron Glenn, he inherited a lot of these players. Somebody will not be wearing green and white in 2026. Guaranteed.
Yeah. The New Orleans Saints, 24-20 over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers down there in Tampa. Saints also vying for a top 5 pick at 3-10, but the Buccaneers well within this playoff and division race at 7-6. Tyler Shuck, 7 rushes for 55 yards, 2 touchdowns, becoming the first player of the season with touchdowns on both a design run and a scramble in the same game. His 34-yard rushing touchdown, the longest by a non-Taysom Hill Saints quarterback in franchise history. Shuck also the first non-Taysom Hill quarterback, and with multiple rushing touchdowns in a game since Drew Brees did that back in 2018.
Listen, Tyler Shuck, I want to say I apologize to you too. You was in a no-win situation. You and Kellen Moore. Y'all bonded at the hip. You been a second. You were the pick that everybody thought was going to be Shedeur Sanders, and you've done the best you could. 13-20, 144 yards. no touchdowns and a pick. Devin Neal led our rusher with 19 rushes, 70 yards and a touchdown. You mentioned Tyler Shuck, 7 rushes, 55 yards, 2 touchdowns, put the team on his back. Devon Bell, three catches, 40 yards. Chris Olave had three catches, 30 yards. But then you go over to Baker Mayfield, 14 to 30, 122 yards, a touchdown and a pick. Bucky Irvin is back. He ain't really back to his old self. 15 rushes, 55 yards. LaShawn Tucker had 7 rushes, 29 yards and a touchdown. A guy that fell off again, Smitty, Emeka Egbuka, 2 catches, 15 yards. Chris Godwin, 5 catches, 55 yards. And Emeka Egbuka, he said, "Look, at this point in the season, I know I got rookie. I know I'm a rookie. When I'm out there, but I can't play. I can't drop it. I can't drop a potential game-winning pass because they got to stack the wins. Once again, the Bucs started off, on fire. They've cool. Mike Evans is not going to get 1,000 yards. He's not going to average 250 yards when he come back. If Mike Evans even come back this season, I respect what New Orleans is doing. New Orleans is saying we refuse to be the number 1 overall pick. That will go to the Titans. The Titans have 2 wins. The Jets have 3 wins. The Browns have 3 wins. And the Saints have 3 wins. And Smitty, I know you were somewhere going, ooh, appreciate the Saints. I will take that dub. Nice weekend. Nice off weekend for you.
Yeah, one of the only times in my life I was actively cheering for the New Orleans Saints. To put that out there. The Buffalo Bills saw a high-scoring shootout go their way, a 39-34 victory over the Cincinnati Bengals. Bills 9-4. The Cincinnati Bengals inverse of that at 4-9. Sunday's electric showdown between the Bills and Bengals featured just 2 punts, tied for the second fewest combined punts in any game in 2025, and the first game in which the Bills did not punt since week 1 of 2022.
If the Cincinnati Bengals can find a way to keep Joe Burrow healthy, they will be one of the most dangerous teams in the National Football League. They just can't keep him healthy. Joe Burrow, 25 of 36, 284 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 picks. And the 2 picks because, you're trying to make a play. You're talking about Samaje P. Brown, 6 rushes, 31 yards. Chase Brown had 12 rushes, 23 yards, and a touchdown. Jamar Chase had 1 rush, 8 yards. T. Higgins led off, receiver 6 catches, 92 yards, 2 touchdowns. Mike Gesicki, 6 catches, 86 yards, and a touchdown. They held Jamar Chase to 5 catches, 44 yards. Haven't been the same player since he came off suspension from spitting on Jalen Ramsey. Josh Allen, 22 of 28, 251 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. James Cook, 18 rushes, 80 yards. Josh Allen, 9 catches, 9 rushes, 78 yards, and a touchdown. That is a nothing. He's getting closer and closer to 100 touchdowns every day because, he's that big, that strong. Dawson Knox, tight end, led all receivers, 6 catches, 93 yards and a touchdown. Dawson Kincaid, 4 catches, 41 yards and a touchdown. But I'm always going on to Keon Coleman. 2 catches, 16 yards. Keon, you were supposed to be the number 1. I know this is year 2, and I know you got suspended back-to-back weeks, and I know you had a touchdown, I think, a week ago. You're going to have to find a way to help this team. But let's look no further. The Bills are good. And the Bills are trending up. And if the Bills go to the playoffs, and they don't got to worry about Patrick Mahomes, they don't got to worry about Lamar Jackson, that's going to be dangerous. And if things keep going the way they're going, if the Chargers don't make it in, they got to just worry about Bo Nix. I'm just telling y'all, Josh Allen said, okay, no Patrick Mahomes, no Lamar Jackson, no Joe Burrow, and potentially no Justin Herbert. Ooh! I'm just Bills fans, calm down. I'm not telling y'all nothing y'all don't know. But yeah, that could be a suitable. That's gonna. But here's the thing, though, Smitty. If you don't make it to the Super Bowl, they're gonna be like, wait a minute, Josh Allen.
Yep.
But yeah, great game by 2 incredible quarterbacks. Joe Burrow will show you why he is who he is, and he just ain't got no help. And I'm talking about defensively, by the way.
Yeah. The Denver Broncos 24-17 over the Las Vegas Raiders. 11-2 on the year are the Broncos. Inverse again, the Raiders 2-11. Friend of the pod, SI Jimmy Traina does a podcast. He would be proud of me for saying this. Ben, I don't know how the Raiders covered the 7.5. I just don't know how that happened. It did, barely. But anyway, the Broncos have won each of their last 5 games by 7 or fewer points, the longest win streak by 7 or fewer points in Broncos history. Those 5 wins have come by a combined 17 points, the second lowest point differential by any team in a 5-game win streak in NFL history. So there you go.
The best 2-year stretch of any quarterback that's been in the National Football League, their first 2 years, is Bo Nix, and nobody wants to talk about it. Had better stats last year than Jaden Daniels. Could have easily won Rookie of the Year, and took his team to the playoffs. They are 11-2. They are running away with this division. They are 11-2. Bo Nix, 31 to 38, 212 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Obviously, R.J. Harvey had 17 rushes, 75 yards and a touchdown. Bo Nix had 3 rushes, 15 yards and a touchdown. Cortland Sutton led our receiver 6 catches, 62 yards and no touchdown. Pat Bryant had 4 for 32. But then you talking about a team that is awful, and that is the Raiders. Do the Raiders play the Titans? Anyway.
I don't think so.
Geno Smith, 13 to 21, 160 yards and a touchdown. Kenny Pickett, somebody blast from the pass, 8 of 11, 97 yards and a touchdown. Ashton Jeanty, 10 rushes, 30 yards, no touchdowns. Brock Bowers had 4 catches, 46 yards and a touchdown. And Shedrick Jackson had 1 catch, 25 yards and a touchdown. I will say this. Max Crosby is still coming to work every day, man. He got 9 sacks on the season to give you all he got. The question of the day is, will Pete Carroll be retained? Because I don't know what isn't going on with the Raiders, but I can say this. There is no culture out there. One thing that is always attached to losing is no culture. Doesn't mean you ain't got good coaching. Doesn't mean you don't got good players. But culture is that's your foundation. That's what you stand on. That's what you are at your worst. We can go back to coaching. You don't believe me? So why is Buffalo still good? Why the Eagles still good, regardless of what has happened? Why the Rams still good? Because they got coaching, right? So I'm just saying for the Raiders team, outside of having a crazy looking spaceship stadium, wearing that silver and black, ain't much to go on. And shout out to Max Crosby for being a Walter Payton Man of the Year finalist for the Las Vegas Raiders. It's hard to watch the Raiders, man. It's hard. It is ugly football. The Raiders gonna find a way to lose because the other team gonna find a way to beat them. Shout out to Bo Nix. Shout out to Sean Payton. Sean Payton, a.k.a. keep Russell Wilson name out your mouth, Sean Payton. And the Denver Broncos, man, shout out to them colors, man. That orange and blue look good on them boys. They find a way to keep it going. Kansas City might not make – Kansas City probably eliminate for the playoffs. The Chargers are trending over. The Raiders are the Raiders, and the Broncos are the class of the AFC West. Put that in your pipe.
Yeah. You had me look this. I looked this up for you, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you. The teams at the Browns are 3-10. There are 3 teams at 2-11. The Giants, the Raiders, and the Titans.
The Giants. The Giants just have been a little more exciting.
Here's your remaining schedule. You tell me who's going to get the number 1 pick. This is here it is. You asked, does the Raiders play the Titans? Okay. Commanders, Vikings, Raiders, Cowboys is the last 4 for the Giants. So the Giants do play the Raiders. Raiders last 4. This is absolutely brutal. Eagles, Texans, Giants, Chiefs.
They'll go 1-3. They'll go 1-3.
The Titans last 3 games: 49ers, Chiefs, Saints, Jaguars.
Whoa! Titans play the Saints? Brawl for them. I think the Saints beat them. We'll see, though. We'll see.
Yeah, there you go. So there's your schedule. Okay. There you go. Okay. All right. The game of the day, in some people's eyes, 28-21 victory for the Green Bay Packers over the Chicago Bears. Packers 9-3-1, Bears 9-4. Probably the most relevant Packers-Bears game in December in a long time. Packers 27-7 in week 13 or later since hiring Matt LaFleur in 2019. Tied for the Bills with the best record in the NFL in that span.
Smithy, when you talk about owning real estate and can't win it, the Chicago Bears cannot beat the Packers. Like, I just don't get it. I get it. They had Brett Favre. Oh, okay. They had Aaron Rodgers. They don't got to use Jordan Love. Let's different quarterback, same result. Caleb Williams, 19-35, 186 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Right. DeAndre Swift had 13 rushes, 63 yards. Luther Burden III had 4 catches, 67 yards. Cole Kmet had 2 for 42. Here's the problem, though. Here's the problem. Way down there, way down at the bottom, DJ Moore had 1 catch for -4 yards. Ha! You catching balls behind the line of scrimmage and getting tackled. Jordan Love, 17 to 25, 234 yards, 3 touchdowns and a pick. Josh Jacob had 20 rushes, 86 yards and a touchdown. Christian Watson had 4 for 89, 2 touchdowns. Bo Melton had 1 for 45 and a touchdown. Here's the thing. Here's the thing about the Bears. The Bears gonna say, does it really matter what we do if we can't beat Green Bay? Nope. Because you're gonna have to see them in some kind of way. Like look, has the Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams experiment worked? Yeah. But Caleb Williams want to throw back, and it's that last one. You want that throw back. Don't get caught staring in the headlights. Caleb, let the play open up. DJ Moore is jumping. Hey, can you see me right here? Everything flowed to the left. DJ was patient, came in, but you already had your sights set. We got to make a – and look, I know people – throwing a touchdown pass is done 2 ways. You can either throw it in the end zone, they catch it, or you can throw it to them and they can run it in. He should have threw it to DJ and let him run in. He would have ran in, and you would have been the hero. You would have stole all the storylines. Because Green Bay and Chicago, that is the rivalry of all rivals. I know people talking about Ravens and Steelers or whatever, and Cowboys and Eagles or Cowboys and the Giants, whatever. So, hey, Jordan Love found a way to get it done. That tiebreaker looking crazy. And if everybody thinking who won the Michael Parsons trade, who's winning? That would be Michael Parsons in Green Bay. So you don't got to say it. Michael Parsons is the only player in the first 5 years to have over 12 sacks and counting in 2025. Shout out to Jordan Love.
The LA Rams all over the Arizona Cardinals. Jonathan Gannon, another coach we talked about, may not be long for his role. 10-3 are the Rams, 3-10, the inverse, as I've been saying so many times tonight, the Cardinals. And Matthew Stafford has thrown for multiple touchdowns in now 7 consecutive games, the longest such streak in the NFL this season. Blake Corum and Kyron Williams rushed for a combined 114 rushing yards on 15 attempts. Williams, 8 carries for 61 yards. Corum, 7 carries for 53 yards.
I will say this about this game. Jacoby said, man, I appreciate you just giving all you got, but I mean, Michael Wilson had 11 catches, 142 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Arizona. Trey McBride had 5 and 58. Right? I know people saying, what did Marvin Harrison do? He didn't play. Marvin Harrison didn't play, so he wasn't in the lineup. Jacoby said led our rush with 4 rushes, 22 yards. Matthew Stafford, 22 of 31, 281 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Blake Corum had 12 rushes, 120 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kyron Williams had 12 for 84, so they couldn't stop the pass or the run. Puka Nacua led all receivers, 7 catches, 167 yards, 2 touchdowns, followed by Kobe Parkinson with 3 for 32 and a touchdown. This game wasn't even about the game. Puka Nacua, after the game, right? They have this thing called a no streaming policy. No Instagram Live. Why were you streaming? Why were you doing that, Puka? Look. I know you guys are young. We've all been young. Don't do that. Put your phone away. Like, when you go live, somebody's gonna, I don't know, post that you went live. Like, what? Puka? I did this one time. Antonio Brown used to do it. Juju Smith, don't do it. Because when you do that, you make it about your brand. It ain't about your brand. It's about the NFL logo. It's about the Rams. It's about your team. It ain't about you. Are you one of the best receivers in football? Yes. Are you going to get a huge deal maybe in our season? Yes. But don't bring distractions where distractions don't exist, man. Shout out to the Rams, but come on, Puka. You better.
And the Houston Texans, my team of the week on the defensive side of the football, 20-10 over the Kansas City Chiefs. The Texans 8-5, trying to win that AFC South race. Kansas City falls to 6-7. First time since Andy Reid has been in Kansas City, I believe it, or it's been a long time since the Chiefs have been under 500 in his watch. Patrick Mahomes lost for the first time facing DeMeco Ryans. He was 3-0 previously against DeMeco Ryans as a head coach with the Texans or defensive coordinator with the 49ers.
I'm going to give you 2 stats that are going to blow your mind about this game. Okay? Patrick Mahomes, 14-33. 160 yards, no touchdowns, 3 picks. No touchdowns, 3 picks. And I'm going to give you one more stat that's going to blow your mind. Travis Kelce, 1 catch, 8 yards. 1 catch for 8 yards. Let me tell you what makes the Kansas City Chiefs go. That would be 50. They made it 7. They make now Chris Jones, boy, you put on the clinic. Chris Jones is out there playing, proving, showing everybody why he one of the best interior D linemen in the league. CJ Stroud, I mean, 15 to 31, 203 yards, 1 touchdown, no pick. I mean, I can't even say his name. I can't. Abagunwale, one rush, 5 yards. I think he a rookie. Nico Collins doing this. Smitty, look at this. When people say it's Nico Collins had 4 catches and 121 yards. That's a number one. Nico Collins is a bona fide number one. Jalen Petrie is the starting safety for Houston. When he hit Richay Rice wanted to just lay there. That was a legal hit. Jalen Petrie is not giving enough credit. They got 2 guys. They got 4 guys on their defense. You need 4 guys. Their names are Jalen Petrie, Derek Stingley Jr., Danielle Hunter, and Will Anderson Jr. Oh, by the way, they are the number one defense in the country in the NFL. Shire,
yep,
he be balling his way. But big shout out to the Houston Tech, D'Amico Ryans. 3 years in, still getting it done. I know everybody thought it was going to be Jacksonville's division to run away with. We mentioned Daniel Jones being out for the year with Achilles. Riley Leonard being the backup with Phillip Rivers coming in with a grandchild to try to make the team. I think the Houston Texans might end up. It's going to come down to Houston and Jacksonville. That is going to be a game to watch with that pass rush. And Jacksonville saying, "Man, let's prove." So Liam Cohen versus D'Amico Ryans, first-year coach Liam Cohen versus third-year coach D'Amico Ryans. I'm here for it.
And then a Monday Night Football game just kicking off now, the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Philadelphia Eagles tonight in, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's in Philadelphia, if I'm not mistaken. No, I'm sorry, it's in LA. Any thoughts on the game, Ben?
I think the Eagles need this game way more than the Chargers do. I think the Chargers are a good team, not a great team. I think the Eagles want to prove that, all the turmoil you hear coming out from the lack of production from Saquon Barkley, the lack of a passing game from Jalen Hurts, to A.J. Brown, to the defensive line led by, Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter and, bringing over Jalen Phillips. I mean, sometimes they look like themselves, sometimes they don't. You need to have a statement game and a statement win. I think the Eagles did it because momentum needs to start shifting in this last month of the season. If not, it's going to be a whole bunch of superstars that will be watching another team hoist up that Lombardi because Jordan Love and company, we just talked about the Rams. It's some teams in the NFC that respect Philly. They are not afraid of them. They are not afraid of them.
Yeah. And then I don't normally bring this up on podcasts because people this might be too in the weeds for a lot of people, but it just did come out that in week 16, that's in a few weeks' time now, the Dolphins-Bengals now off Sunday Night Football and Patriots-Ravens now.
You better come get some. Drake May wants to prove to the world, not only can I beat a former one-time MVP, I can beat a former 2-time MVP and Lamar Jackson. I like the flex. Love the flex games. Let's do
it. Week 15 now, coming up shortly after tonight's game in LA. Let's get to our top 5 games to watch here in week 15. Ben, I'll let you start us off.
My number 5 game. I mean, give me Lions Rams. Once again, this time, Jared Goff got to go to the West Coast. See, the last 2 times, Matthew Stafford had to come back to the Dome. Let's see if you can come over. Let's see if you can come to the West and beat me, Jared. Shout out to Jared Goff and company. That's my number 5. My number 4, Panthers Saints. Let me tell you something. Panthers better get back. Saints coming in with momentum. The Panthers are coming in rested. Let's see. I want to see. My number 3 is what we just mentioned. I mean, no. I'm sorry. That's week 16. Got the rematch though. Bills Patriots. Drake Mason. Can I go 2-0 against the Bills? That's my list. That's my number 3. I know it's crazy. My number 2. It shouldn't be this way. Ravens Bengals. Look. What's going on with Lamar Jackson? What is up? And everybody talking about Joe Burrow should have stayed home. No, he want to prove, man, I'm better than these dudes, right? And my number 1, Packers, Broncos. Let me tell y'all something. Jordan Love. Hey, have you ever been to Mile High? Have you ever ever had to deal with that? I have, and it is real. When you get off the airport, you get at the airport, you're like, dude, what's wrong with my breath? Like, yeah, it is a competitive edge for Denver, but that is my number one.
And I think we lost Ben there for just a second. Hopefully, we'll get him back here in just a second. I wasn't sure that if that happened there. So we'll get his toilet bowl in just a second as he logs back in. Let's go with my top 5 games to watch. I know it's going to sound crazy. Falcons Bucks is my number 5. You gotta see if the Buccaneers can win this one on a short week. They gotta win this one for a lot of reasons. There on Thursday night football.
My bad, Smitty. Look, I'm sitting here just going. My tablet ain't got no juice. It just, I'm like, whoa. But like I said, I before we got interrupted, I don't even know if I seen a toilet bowl game. I know the 49ers were playing the Titans. That might end up being a toilet bowl. Not because the 49ers are bad, not because the 49ers are good, because the Titans are bad. But yes, I am back. I don't know what happened, but give me your top 5 in toilet bowl. Well, I got briefly interrupted.
Yep. I got Falcons Bucks as my number 5. The Bucks have to win this game against your Falcons. Oh, Noah, am I muted? No? Can you hear me?
Are you muted over there?
No.
I can't hear you.
Interesting.
Is it me?
It may be you. Falcons Bucks is my number 5.
No, I can't even hear Smitty. See what technology does, man.
The worst name.
I hate technology.
The worst way. My number 4.
Smitty, you can hear me?
Colts. Seahawks.
Smitty can hear me, but I can't hear you. Like weird.
To see this game. My number 3.
Like I see your mouth moving, I just can't hear you.
States.
I don't know what's going on.
And Panthers need this game.
There's something going on my end.
Ways.
I don't know.
This game. My number 2 is going to be Lions.
Can you hear me now? Your thing ain't muted?
That Lions Rams was this low on his list.
I can't hear anything.
Lions Rams.
This episode just went real crazy, real fast.
My number 1 is his
do I got
to
go out to another room? I'll do that too.
Packers Broncos, my number 1, which was his number 1. And then my toilet bowl, Commanders Giants is my number 1.
This is nuts.
That was nuts.
It's nuts. You get
the toilet bowl. I cannot believe Commanders Giants. Oh my gosh, that's going to be awful for those of you who have to watch. That has been, we're working on getting him back online. Apologies for his audio and getting his stuff set up. But anyway, so that is our top 5 games to watch here in week 15. This is Winning the Division, episode number 78. Rate, review, and subscribe wherever you get your podcast. And enjoy week 15 coming up here shortly. Ben, are you back?
It's crazy.
Ben's back.
Hold on. Y'all get to go on a tour. Oh, dude.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Oh, my freaking foot. Okay.
Can you hear
Let's see if we can get this right. Dude, this is crazy.
We lost Ben, but I think he's back.
Okay. Let's see something.
I think he's back. So as I said, we have those are our top 5 games for week 15. Rate, review, and subscribe wherever you get your podcast. Winning the Division, episode 78 for Ben Troupe. I'm Ryan Smith, and we will see you next time.